Why do atoms bond? Write this question in your composition book, pause the video, and answer it. As we talked about yesterday, atoms need to have a full outer energy level to be stable. Atoms that do not have a full outer energy level will combine with other atoms that allow them to have a full outer level. Our title today is Ionic compounds. Ionic compounds are formed by ionic bonds. If it's an ionic bond, that must mean that it forms between a positive ion and a negative ion. This occurs when electrons are transferred from the positive ion to the negative ion. On the periodic table, we know that positive ions are formed by metals and negative ions are formed by nonmetals. So an ionic bond occurs between a metal and a nonmetal. An example would be NaBr. Now let's see how to write formulas for ionic compounds. The first step is to write the symbol for each element in the compound. The example we're going to do is magnesium and chlorine. Step 1 is to write the chemical symbol for each. We know magnesium is Mg and chlorine is Cl from the periodic table. Whew, that was tough. Next, you will determine the oxidation number of each element. Since magnesium is in group 2, its oxidation number is +2, and chlorine is group 7, so it's -1. Now you will find the least common multiple for the oxidation numbers of those elements. Now you find the least common multiple between 2 and 1. The smallest number that both of those will divide into evenly is 2, so that's our least common multiple. And finally, you will use the least common multiple to determine how many of each element is needed to make a total charge of 0. The least common multiple tells me that I need a total charge of +2 from the magnesium and a total charge of -2 from the chlorine. So I will use this information to figure out how many Mg's and how many Cl's in the chemical formula. To get a total +2 from the magnesium, I would multiply +2 times 1 to get a +2 charge. For the chlorine, I would multiply by 2 to get a total of -2. When we add these total charges together, the overall should be 0 for a neutral compound. That's what we're looking for. The numbers that we multiplied by tell us how many of each substance in the chemical formula. So I need 1 magnesium and 2 chlorines. So the correct chemical formula is going to be MgCl2. Ta-da! The ionic compound that you just formed is called a binary compound. You know that bi means 2, so binary would be a compound that is made from atoms of 2 different elements. Binary compounds are named by the following rules. The first step to naming a binary compound is to name the metal. Alright, using our previous example, let's name this compound. First we name the metal. Then you name the nonmetal, changing the ending to IDE. Then we name the nonmetal, changing the ending to IDE. So this compound is called magnesium chloride. Let's do one more example. Name the metal first, that's barium. Ooh, that was tough. Now name the nonmetal and change the ending to IDE. So this one would be called barium sulfide. And we're done.